Hey guys, what's up? This is your singing garbage man, here to talk to you today about bad road conditions, especially snowy road conditions. Reason being is because I work in an area that is, gets a lot of snow. Usually gets a lot of snow, and so I got to talk about winter driving because it's pretty serious. I actually had messages, and my wife was telling me about the garbage driver that picks up my trash got stuck yesterday, and stuck in town, on a town road. On a town road, he got stuck in town, and a friend of mine posted a video of it. And turns out he was only stuck because he was stopped at an incline, and to get going again, right, the drive tire started spinning, and he started turning sideways, and he just got turned sideways so much that he's going to need a tow truck to tow him out, And so what do we do for winter driving in garbage trucks? And I say some of this stuff is even things that for your average personal vehicle driver, those who aren't in commercial driving at all, it's good tips for them as well. Tips like slow speed. This is one of the biggest things for winter driving, I'd say. The best way to avoid accidents in the wintertime is maintaining a safe speed. What I mean by that is I'm not talking about like driving stupid slow like some people do, under 30 mile an hour on just light dusting of snow or something like that. That's not what I'm talking about. You need to be driving a quick enough speed so you're not slowing everybody down. You're not taking forever. We don't need to be doing hour and a half trip for what would usually take half an hour. We don't need that. That's going a little too slow. And I would usually say for a light dusting and it's a little bit slick out, somewhere around 45 on a 55 mile an hour. And then for really icy and sometimes even slushy conditions, I'd say about 35-ish, right? And actually, I would say slush is almost worse than ice, if that makes sense. Because ice is just slick, right? It's just slick. You find yourself on ice, you're trying to stop, or something happens and you start, sliding on ice. Usually you let off the accelerator, don't touch the brakes, and keep your wheel turned the direction you want to go, and usually you can straighten out. You slow down enough and it's fine. It's no big deal. Slush, on the other hand, is not only slick, but it also pulls you. If you touch slush in any way, you're heading for that ditch, and the only way to really take care of that is, again, letting off the accelerator, letting off the brakes, and you almost have to slow down to almost 20 miles an hour just to have enough traction to get back right out of that pull. It's so bad. So other things I would do in the wintertime is, especially for commercial trucks. Commercial trucks have this thing that normal cars don't necessarily have. With the weight that we have this interesting situation where you're trying to stop. No matter how slow you're going, right, you're going to slide if you put on too much brakes. And when you put on too much brakes, you will head to the ditch. You will head towards the ditch. Usually for me, especially on like back roads where, it's not hit very much with salt trucks, right? It's the rear end that starts kicking out, and you start to take out things like mailboxes or cars if you're not careful, So what do? Well, you want to look in your mirrors as you're trying to stop. but make sure you keep looking ahead. Glance in your mirrors here and there and look for your drive tires. And if your drive tires are locked up, you're sliding and you're heading towards the ditch. You want to apply just enough brakes to slow down, but not lock up the tires. You know, that way you can get a controlled, slowed descent. Also, steer tires usually are where your main braking is, your main braking power. So you may find that as you're going to stop, your front end is sliding, no matter where you're steering, right? Again, let off the brakes a little. If you slide past the stop, whatever, you know, you may be able to back up a little bit, or for routes that are manual collection, hand toss, you know, maybe, especially if you only slid past it a little bit, just stop the truck, get out, walk back there and grab it, drag it up to the front of the truck and throw it in there. Better than backing up every time, you know. So, but like automated routes, it's best just to back up a little. So, but you really want to try to allow your engine to slow you down when you're preparing to stop. And but there are some times that you can't help it, and you got to slam on your brakes. I had it happen once where somebody cut out in front of me. They actually blew the stop sign, cut out in front of me. I had to slam on my brakes, and I was in the city in a very narrow, it's like my truck width plus a car, like is only, like a car is squeezing past me on this kind of street, right? So you imagine my truck sideways in that street is taking out things like light poles and trees and things like that, right? Well, go figure. I had to slam on my brakes, and I'm not completely sideways, but I am like diagonal sideways, sliding down the road, and I slowed down enough, and I'm sideways, that I'm slowed down enough, I miss him, and I don't cause an accident. And then as soon as I'm sideways and I'm slowed down enough, I let off the brakes, and I got that wheel cranked, and I'm aiming back to where I was going, and I managed to straighten it back out, you know. So I had another driver behind me that talked to me later, was like, "Oh, that was some masterful garbage truck driving skills, Master Jedi. Force me with you." I'm like, man, yeah, I don't know how I pulled that off, but I got it, dude. So you just got to be very careful. Take those tips with you. And as far as like that other driver, that video that I was talking about before, those kind of drivers, try to have a shovel with you. Try to have stuff like cat litter or salt in your truck in a storage compartment, or strapped to the fuel tank or something like that, so that when you do get stuck in situations like that where you're on the road but you're on a hill as well, and you have to stop, and if you try to go, you're going to be sideways or going down the hill or something like that, it's best just to try to get some of that cat litter out, or salt, throw it underneath the tires, in front of the tires, just a little bit here and there, just to get you some traction to get up and going, and then almost idle speed to try to get up and out, you know. So take that stuff with you. I know this was long, and I'm sorry for keeping you guys, but stay safe out there, stay warm. Hey.